Welcome everyone. Welcome to the New Jersey Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair. We have a killer lineup of institutions for you to hear from this evening. But first, I have a couple of housekeeping items for you. Number one, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off. Our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. The next thing is this is being recorded. And so the recording of this session, as well as any of the other sessions that were recorded tonight, will be available within 1 week at strivescan.com/New Jersey. And finally, we know you're going to have some questions. So don't hesitate to put those questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Type out your question, and then also don't forget to note the institution that you're directing your question to. That will help our panelists answer your questions effectively. Well, let's get started. So first up, I have the University of Connecticut, and we're ready when you are.
All right, let me just share my screen. Okay, so good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Eric Chadis. I'm one of the admission officers here for the University of Connecticut. I am the New Jersey representative, so I'll be the one helping you through the application process and answering any questions you have about the university. For those that don't know, of course, UConn is the main public institution for the state of Connecticut. We have about 24,000 undergraduate students across 5 different campuses. Our main campus is located in a town called Storrs. That is our flagship campus. That's like when you think of UConn, you are probably thinking of our campus in Storrs. About 19,000 undergraduate students there. So we are technically about a medium-sized school. 4 other campuses all throughout the state of Connecticut in Stamford, Waterbury, Hartford, and Avery Point. Really don't worry about those 4, mostly for in-state commuting students. We are about a half an hour away from Hartford, which is Connecticut's capital and biggest city. Hour and a half from Boston, about 2 hours from New York City, about 3.5 hours or so from you all in New Jersey. So it's a real nice central location that is super well connected to a lot of these bigger areas in the Northeast, which has a lot of professional and personal benefits. Professionally speaking, we're able to offer a lot of alumni connections, a lot of networking experiences, career placements, job placements, being that close to a Hartford, a Boston, a New York City, even a Philadelphia and Providence, which aren't too far away either. So a lot of professional connections and professional benefits that way. But also personally speaking, being that close to Boston, New York City allows us to have weekend trips up to Boston to see like a Red Sox game for half off, or we're able to offer discounted deals to New York City to see like a Broadway show. So well connected to a lot of these areas in the Northeast as well. In terms of what the campus looks like, I always describe UConn as a city school that's tucked away in the woods. So you have all the benefits of a big school, but also maintaining a lot of the benefits of a small school as well. So Storrs itself is a very standard New England town, so our campus is going to reflect that. A lot of trees on campus. It's a very green campus, a lot of rivers and lakes and hiking trails and things like that. So if you're someone that wants to go to a school that is in tune with the environment, and you're someone who wants to go to a school that feels like it's like one self-contained campus, we're definitely the perfect spot for you in that sense. At the same time, still a very large institution. If you add in faculty and staff, graduate students, people visiting, we could get up to 30, 35,000 people. So it does kind of feel like its own independent city. So it's always very energetic. It's always very exciting. We have a great downtown area called Downtown Storrs that has tons of shops, restaurants, and museums, and things to do down there. We got an ice rink on campus, a movie theater on campus. A lot of our athletic teams will play right on campus as well. So always a lot of things happening. So UConn's going to be a big enough school really to offer you opportunities in anything you're looking for, but not so big where it's going to be overwhelming or restricted or anything like that. So academically, we offer about 115 majors in 10 different schools and colleges. Our more well-known programs are things like business, engineering, and nursing. Those are kind of like the programs we are more well-known for. Individually, our most popular majors are things like psychology, political science, and biology. We offer tons of programs in liberal arts and sciences. We do education, we do pharmacy, we do fine arts, we do agriculture. So whatever you're interested in pursuing academically, we can most likely offer that to you. If you have no idea what you want to study at UConn, that's perfectly fine. We do offer something called our ACES program. ACES is our Academic Center for Exploratory Students. It's pretty much just a fancier term for undecided here at UConn. You will come to UConn as an undecided student, which is a very popular option. About 900 students each year, so it's about a quarter of our first year class will come in undecided. You'll be matched up with your ACES advisor, who will help you figure out which programs you want to apply to, which courses you're interested in pursuing, and we really take it from there. The way UConn structures its curriculum is all UConn students will have to take what we call like general education classes. They are essentially sets of different courses from different content areas, and that's again required for all UConn students. your first year and your sophomore year, whether you're a business student, a nursing student, or even that ACES undecided student, is going to look very similar taking those general education classes. So I know sometimes students are concerned if they are coming into UConn as an undecided student, is it going to take me longer to graduate? Is it going to take more than 4 years? And the answer is really going to be no, because you are pursuing your degree the same way everyone else is, taking those general education classes for your first year, sophomore year, and then you transition to your major by the end of typically your sophomore year. Average class size is about 28 to 34 students, and we have a student faculty ratio about 16:1. So classes really aren't terribly big. Your first year, sophomore year, again, when you're taking those general education classes, those will be pretty big, but as you progress through your courses, start to get into your major specific courses, they're going to get a lot smaller, a lot more hands-on opportunities as well. Two other things I want to highlight when it comes to academics is our honors program and our special programs. Our honors program is about 500 to 550 students are admitted to it each year. And what I want you all to take away from this is there is no separate application for our honors program. So all you need to do is just apply to UConn on time, and you'll be automatically considered for our honors program. Tons of extra benefits in terms of picking courses a little bit earlier, picking housing a little bit earlier, honors level courses as well, but again, no separate application. And then we do offer special programs in things like medicine, dental medicine, education, and law. These are pre-professional programs you apply into as an incoming first year student. And if you are admitted to them, you pretty much have a guaranteed admission into medical school or law school, anything like that, as long as you maintain certain program requirements and complete everything we're looking for. Just to wrap up here, a little bit about campus life. Over 700 plus student clubs and organizations on our campus. They range really all over the place, from political-based groups to culture-based groups, personal interest, hobbies. So whatever you're interested in pursuing outside the classroom, UConn's going to be able to offer that. About 24 different Division I sports teams, 30 different club teams, about 100 different intramural programs as well. So again, athletically, whatever you want to do, we can offer. About 135 education abroad programs in 60 different locations. We do full year length programs. We do semester length programs. We do summer sessions, winter sessions. So again, whatever you're trying to do outside the classroom, we're going to be able to offer that to you. And just want to wrap up here a little bit about the timeline for us. I'm sorry if I'm speeding up at this point here. We are not an early action school, early decision school. You just need to get your application in by January 15th. All decisions are released around March 1st. And again, just decide by May 1st. So applications in by January 15th, and all decisions will be out by March 1st. So thank you so much.
The time goes by super fast, doesn't it, Eric? Thank you so much to you and the University of Connecticut. Audience, don't forget, you can put those questions in the Q&A at any time. You don't have to wait for a particular institution to present before you put your questions in. Type your question, and then also make sure you type out the institution that you're directing your question to. Next up, I have the opportunity to introduce to you the University of Delaware. Whenever you're ready, Matt.
Hi, everyone. Give me 1 second while I share my screen. Okay, so here we are. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Hermanow, and I'm from the University of Delaware. I'm also joined by my colleague, Crystal Santos. I'm an assistant director in our office, and Crystal is an associate director in our office, and we both recruit for New Jersey. Now, when we're talking about the University of Delaware, it would be remiss if we just didn't have fun facts about the state. The state of Delaware is second smallest state in the country, and we are immediately south to you all in the state of New Jersey. Now, because of the state of Delaware's small size, that really puts us in a prime location on the East Coast. For all of you who are in the state of New Jersey, it really is no more than a 2.5, maybe a 3-hour drive to our campus, which is located in the northern part of the state of Delaware. And that also makes it easy for people who are on our campus to get to and from all of the major cities on the East Coast. We're only about 3 hours from New York City, about an hour from Philadelphia, and about an hour and a half to 2 hours from Baltimore and DC. Now, when we're talking about how easy it is for students from the state of New Jersey to get to and from our campus and all of these major areas on the East Coast, that's not to say that students come to our campus and they leave all the time. We are a 4-year public university with a suburban feel campus in a small town that actually predates the Revolutionary War. So if you're looking for a college with that like brick and ivy feel, with lots of tall trees, with the central green where students spend the most of their time, the University of Delaware will probably fit that bill for you. But we also have plenty of other campus resources to offer our students that we call the power of the place. And that really goes to speak to all of the different resources that we offer students for really whatever major you're studying. When we say that we're a 4-year public institution, we are the state flagship for the state of Delaware. And as a state school, it's our job to educate the residents of the state of Delaware and the United States and the rest of the world. So no matter what it is that you choose to study and choose to come to the University of Delaware for, we have those campus resources and majors at your disposal. We have over 150 different programs that are direct admit. We have over 100 different minors, and we have over 50 different 4+1 programs that are connected degrees. Now, once we're done presenting, I'll post this link in the chat for you all to see, but I always recommend that students start their search with the University of Delaware just by going onto our major finder. With over 150 different majors for students to be able to choose from, and all of our majors being direct admit, when you apply to UD, you're reviewed for your major. So starting with what you know you want to study is always a great point when you're starting your search at UD. And then when you are looking through all the college options that we have to offer, another fun piece of information that we share with all of you is actually our outcomes website. So if you're sitting at home and you know you want to do something in a medical field or a business field or something in the arts and the humanities, but you're not entirely sure where that major or where that career will ultimately take you, checking out our outcomes website is the best resource that you have at your disposal in order to see what current and past Blue Hens are doing with their degrees once they leave UD. Now I'm gonna throw it over to my partner, Crystal, in order to talk a little bit more about the next steps.
Thanks, Matt. So when it comes to how to apply to the University of Delaware, as you can see, we have a number of different pieces or materials that is needed to complete your application. So if you're a rising senior, make sure you kind of get started and have all of your information together. So by senior year, everything is complete and we'd be ready to review. So Common or Coalition app, it's really up to you what you'd like to apply or use to apply to the University of Delaware. On the Common and Coalition app, we do have a required essay. However, we do have supplemental essays that were required this year for students who were going test optional. We are not sure what our plans are for the fall of 2022 just yet, so continue to check in with your admissions representative or continue to check in on our website as well, just to see if things have changed. But we will, no matter what, make an announcement and certainly include that information on our website. Another thing that's required of students to complete is what's called a self-reported academic record. So what you're doing is you're taking your high school transcript and putting those courses, those grades, indicating that level of rigor, whether it's honors, AP, IB, or so, and putting that information on the self-reported academic record. That self-reported academic record is allowing us to recalculate your GPA, which we do for all 33,000 of our students that apply to University of Delaware, so that everyone is pretty much on the same scale or so. With that, as I mentioned earlier, we're not sure if we're going to go test optional, but if you do have test scores and you're able to take the test and you feel strongly about your test scores, feel free to submit them to us. It doesn't matter if you do SAT or ACT, we will super score the areas for the SAT. And for ACT, if you were to take it more than once, we take the highest of your composite score. We also require the school counselor to either submit a letter of recommendation or just a secondary school report. So it's really up to them what they'd like to submit. If you have additional letters of recommendation that you would like to submit as well, like from teachers or coaches or supervisors, you're welcome to do so, but they are not required. And then if you're considering the UD's honors college, then you certainly want to do the additional essay that we ask of you in the process. It's a great opportunity to really connect with 600 or so others honors students, and honors students live together and have a great experience on campus, especially as they make that transition from high school to college. Matt, if you can move on to the next one. So last but not least, we have our listing of our contact information here for all of the reps for the state of New Jersey, and you can see the specific counties where we all recruit. So feel free to reach out to us, and we look forward to seeing your application in the fall or connecting with us further.
Thank you so much, University of Delaware. Next up, I have the opportunity to introduce to you the University of Massachusetts, Boston.
Awesome, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being with me. I'll just hop right on in. My name is Brian Gallagher and I am with UMass Boston. For time's sake, I just basically put this into 5 reasons why somebody might attend UMass Boston. And no matter what I am talking to who I'm talking to, I should say, from where they're from, the big thing about UMass Boston that makes us who we are is our location. So located in the big city of Boston, an iconic city located just, a couple hours north from northern New Jersey. And where we're located in Boston isn't necessarily in downtown Boston. If you are familiar with the city of Boston, we are a major metro area, but however, our campus isn't located in the hustle and bustle of downtown. We're actually located in a quiet neighborhood of Dorchester on the South Boston border, really on the water. So a harborfront campus located on a peninsula. So 3 sides of the campus is actually a body of water. And what's on your screen right now is actually a group of our students on our campus right now. So you can see that that's the Boston Harbor, just right of them, where they're located on the Harbor Walk. However, the city of Boston is a super condensed city, so I really tell students that you get the best of both worlds. Everything UMass Boston related when it comes to our campus facilities, the academic buildings, the res halls, athletic buildings, the dining facilities, etc., will be located on the peninsula. However, I always tell students you have 2 campuses, one being the city of Boston, the other being Columbia Point. So if you look in the background, that's downtown Boston. The downtown area is only about 5-10 minutes away. And the good thing about the city of Boston is that we are public transit friendly. So I always like to throw up this slide, especially for our students coming from out of region, because the public transportation at the city of Boston is really, really accessible and really easy to use. It does look a little complicated at first, but trust me, it's easy to pick up and everything's color coordinated. We are located off the Red Line. This is the train system. And like I said, it'll take you to anywhere in the city of Boston. So you want to go to downtown Boston, you want to go to the Fenway, or even if you need to get to and from the city, whether that be South Station, if you're taking a bus or the train from New York City, or flying up from Interlogan Airport, you can all get that through public transportation. And what is nice about it is that we have our own train station, JFK UMass stop off the Red. Now, once you get into the city of Boston, we do say that the opportunities are endless. Now, we like to say that the city of Boston is America's college town. Why? Because every single year, 300 to 350,000 college students pack their bags and move to the city every single fall. So if you look at the statistical breakdown, 1 out of every 5 of the city residents that live here in the city of Boston is a college-age student. And for someone who lives in the city full-time, I can truly contest that Boston is a super young city, especially with the wave of students coming in every single fall. However, you might know that Boston is historical and in the sense that it does have a rich tradition, a rich history, especially with all our professional sports teams, all the history that's happened here. And we're also the forefront for a lot of these major different industries, not only in the Northeast, but also in the nation in itself. So medicine, entrepreneurship, business, education, the list goes on. And our students, by going to UMass Boston, really reap the benefits of getting to really get to reap the benefits of getting internships and clinicals and work experience in a lot of these major areas. So internships and clinicals and these real working life experiences will come 2 and 2 throughout your educational experience at UMass Boston. The other component is obviously the academics, and so it brings up part number 2. We are a larger to mid-sized institution. We have just shy of 16,000 full-time students at UMass Boston. We have over 80 different academic majors, and they range in a whole bunch of different programs, from STEM and the natural sciences to our health sciences like nursing, to our social sciences like sociology, criminology, psychology, to our fine arts majors. So we really have something a little bit for everyone. And what's nice about UMass Boston is that though we are a larger institution, one thing that we do very well is that we make that not seem so big. And one of the couple ways that we do this is that every single student will get an academic advisor, and every single student will be placed into one of the 10 different respective colleges and schools. So depending on what academic area you're going to go for, say you're going to be an environmental major, you'll be under the School of the Environmental Sciences. If you're going for nursing, you'll be in the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, et cetera, et cetera. And the reason we break it down like this and we place our students into the respective different schools is that every single student will get their academic advisor, but then they'll get special tutor support services specific for their major. Advising for engineering will look much different for arts, so that's one reason behind it, but it also gives you a much smaller campus feel out of a larger institution. Now, what is nice about UMass Boston is we offer what is called a liberal arts curriculum. So although you're going to be into one of these 10 different colleges and schools, and we are direct entry, so you're going to start working with your advisors and tutors in these respective schools from the first time you step on a campus, you're going to be able to take classes in some of the other 9 different areas as well. So a lot of our students will pick up minors, pick up double majors, even pick up 2 minors in an area that's outside of their respective major. So we really want students to explore the different opportunities that we have at UMass Boston, and really, if they feel up to it, pick up a minor or that second major to really cultivate and create that degree. We also have our prestigious honors program, which every single student is eligible for. They just have to apply on time. You are automatically considered for our honors college. And then we do have a plethora of accelerated bachelor's and master's programs. A lot of the bachelor's and master's accelerated track will be a 4+1. But then we also have accelerated tracks through the other UMass flagship systems. We are also a state institution, so we do qualify for the in-state tuition. Although you are coming from out of state, our students are obviously discounted with their tuition automatically. I'm going to go a little fast. I see Courtney already coming up. Number 4, diversity. And one of the main things that I chose to work in UMass Boston is that we are the 3rd most diverse institution in the United States. About 60% of our students are students of color, with about a 12 to 13 international student population. So we really have a campus of students coming from all over the place, 113 countries worldwide, with about 40 plus different states from the US. And the last part is that if you get the opportunity to come on the campus, we do have a lot of new stuff that's always happening. We have the new Harbor Walk, which is on the first slide, new academic buildings like our Science Center, University Hall, a new baseball stadium, and even the new dorms that were built in 2018. I know that was really quick, but you can always connect with me in this chat, or you can always follow us on one of our Facebook and social medias, and we can always talk in greater detail about UMass Boston.
Thank you, Brian, and to the U and the University of Massachusetts Boston. Isn't this a fun way to see great schools, guys? I know I'm having fun learning a lot of different things about schools across the country. I hope you are too. Don't forget to put those questions in the Q&A at the bottom and type your question, and then also list out the institution you're directing your question to. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you the University of Georgia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Bird. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions with the University of Georgia. University of Georgia is located in Athens, Georgia, approximately an hour northeast of Atlanta. Interestingly, Jet Setter magazine has actually named Athens one of the hippest cities in America, which means we unofficially have the highest concentration of beards, baristas, and man buns than any other university in the South. But all joking aside, Athens is a really important backdrop to the student experience on campus because of the music and art scene, the creative culture, and the community that students can experience walking distance from campus. Now, beyond our location in Athens, the University of Georgia is pretty great too. We have roughly 30,000 undergraduate students that have the opportunity to study in 200 different majors and concentrations across 17 different schools and colleges. This means our students get exposure to world-class faculty, and they can create an experience that meets their wants and needs. One thing to know for students who are applying to Georgia is that we don't admit by major. We actually will allow you to change your mind before ever enrolling, and we feel that that's fine because we have the support services to help you find your area of interest. 2 key programs I want to quickly highlight that showcase our commitment to student success is going to be our experiential learning program as well as our Double Dogs program. Georgia is one of the largest public universities to require that students graduate with some type of experiential learning credit. This is where students take what they're learning in the classroom, they apply it in real life ways. It encompasses a lot of different things, but most commonly our students have incredible opportunities to do research with world-renowned faculty members, travel study on every continent, and they're landing great internships all over the world. Our Double Dogs program offers students an opportunity to pursue a bachelor's and master's degree in 5 years or less. And while 4-in-1 programs are certainly not uncommon, the volume of ours is astounding. This means students have the flexibility to get their degrees in related fields, like a degree in advertising or emerging media. One of my favorites is going to be if they switch it up and they work on their engineering degree and they get their MBA, but tons of options where students can get creative and build a unique experience for themselves. So how do you take advantage of these opportunities? It all starts with the first year application that opens up on September 1st of your senior year. Students can apply using Georgia's application, the Common Application, or the Coalition application. We have no preference, but we recommend you stick to one. We have 2 decision plans. We have early action and regular decision, both of which are non-binding. One of the most common questions we hear from applicants is, should I apply regular decision or should I apply early action? And realistically, you should know that these applications are reviewed in the exact same way, where we're focused on demonstrated academic achievements and what you've done outside of those numbers. We have the same components that are required. And so applicants really should ask themselves, am I ready to have all parts of my application reviewed at that deadline? Early action students should be ready to have everything reviewed in October. If you're not ready to have everything reviewed in October, we encourage you to wait and apply regular decision with a later deadline of January 1st so that students can present their best self in their application. So let's dive right into the first year applicant pool and talk numbers. Georgia has a very competitive application process. And so last year we had 30,000 applications. This year, we are much higher than that, as many schools are across the country. But who is applying drives what the applicant data will entail. And so you can see our mid 50% ranges for admitted and enrolled students for the previous year. And while we value many parts of the application and we complete a whole student review, the key parts that we're focusing in on are going to be demonstrated academic achievement in your 5 core academic areas, how you've chosen to take advantage of rigorous opportunities available at your school in those areas, as well as standardized test scores. Now, for this past year, our Board of Regents did allow state colleges and universities to be test optional for 2021. We have not heard what the future looks like, just like my other colleagues here this evening. But I would anticipate that we're probably going to require them in the coming year. But if anything changes, know that we'll share that information as soon as we can. So let's talk about scholarships quickly. And so if you apply for admission, you're considered for all merit-based scholarships. You can visit our website or check this chat link that we just dropped out to you to see a comprehensive listing of those. Students, just know the only scholarship that would require a secondary application is going to be our Foundation Fellowship and Bernard Ramsey Honor Scholarship, which is the premier scholarship awarded by the institution. And take note, it has a pretty early application deadline. So students who are applying early action, you'll need to have everything in by October 15th. You're going to hear something from us in mid to late November. Students who are applying regular decision, take note that that deadline is going to be January 1st. Now, students who are deferred through the early action round or choose to apply regular decision are going to hear a final decision from us in mid to late March so that they can make an informed financial decision by May 1. So I want to be thoughtful of time, and to wrap us up this evening, I would like to invite you to join us for a virtual experience, which can be found on this website right here, so that we can do a little deeper dive into the admissions process. I appreciate you all joining this evening. My name is Kelly Bird, and you can also connect with me by visiting our webpage.
Thank you so much, Kelly, to you and the University of Georgia. Audience, don't forget, you can put those questions in the Q&A at any time. I know our panelists are feverishly answering the questions that you've already submitted. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you the University of Iowa.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Marcus Phillips, one of the Associate Directors in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at the University of Iowa. I am the New Jersey contact person, so if you do have questions at the end of my presentation, I will drop my email address. The University of Iowa is located in Iowa City, Iowa. It's about 100,000 people located in the southeastern part of the state. We're about 3 hours east of the Chicago metro area and about 3 hours south of Minneapolis and about 3 hours north of the St. Louis metro area. We are in a very vibrant college town, numerous rankings as top college towns throughout several years. Lots of hiking, biking, walking trail, very active community here in Iowa City. Our campus is located right in the heart of the city, and right across the street is downtown Iowa City. So our students have downtown at their fingertips if they want to just step foot off a campus and enjoy a coffee shop, a bookstore, or an event. In the upper left-hand corner is one of the largest teaching hospitals in the US. I wanted to point that out for good reason. Our students at the undergrad level had the opportunity in the first year to pretty much had the opportunity to research, work part-time, volunteer, or just job shadow those professionals in the health sciences field. So our students have that at their fingertips, and it's a great opportunity for students who want to go into the health sciences. The University of Iowa is definitely a top institution over the last several years. We have been one of the top Fulbright producing institutions in the last several years as well. So there's a lot of support for students who want to go on after their undergraduate years. It's a 15-to-1 student faculty ratio. That does allow our students to get to know our professors on a first name basis. Our average class size is 30 students, and over 75% of our classes have 30 or less students. We are a tier 1 institution. We are the flagship institution. We are the state's liberal arts institution. So there's a lot of flexibility in classes for our students. And quite often our students will double major or have a minor or a certificate program as well under their belt. We are, again, a tier 1 research institution. And so about a third of our undergraduates will conduct research directly with faculty. We do have world-class faculty on our campus that are conducting cutting-edge research. And our students have that opportunity to connect with them and work individually with those professors in regards to research. And of course, 95% of our students will have a job or attend graduate school within 6 months of graduation. We have over 200 areas of studies at the University of Iowa in 12 different colleges. And our most popular areas of study include English and creative writing, which we are known for. Our writing program is exceptional. We had a world-renowned University of Iowa Writers Workshop, and we added a couple of new degrees within writing. One in particular is our screenwriting arts degree for those students who want to write those scripts for Netflix or what have you. They are looking for undergraduate students, so they tapped the University of Iowa to create a screenwriting degree, and we have so many different contacts throughout the US in New York City and in Hollywood. That is a very popular area for our institution. Not only is writing a popular major, but also business, which our Tippy Rise is a top 25 public business program in the US. All students in that program are required to do some type of experiential learning component or study abroad as well. Health sciences is very strong, as I mentioned earlier, with our world-class medical facility on campus. It does allow our students the opportunity to delve into numerous health science majors, and one of our most popular one is neuroscience. But our faculty allow our students to really get connected within their classroom, and there's a lot of support outside the classroom as well. But we also want our students to get involved outside of the classroom. We really challenge our students to get connected, whether it's study abroad, whether it's research, whether it's student organizations. We have over 600 student organizations. And right on the screen is our Herky, it's our mascot, and our dance marathon, which is one of the largest organizations on campus that raises money and awareness for financial support for those pediatric oncology patients at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics. We have a pretty robust performing arts program on our campus. They put on 400 plus events a year. So if you're that student who wants to be involved outside of the classroom, not only do you have athletics and intramurals, but you also have the performing arts. And we have Division I athletics. So hopefully our men's and women Hawkeye basketball teams will go deep in the NCAA tournament this year. Definitely looking forward to that. So if you want a vibrant community with big time athletics and strong academics, University of Iowa is definitely one of the places to be. Just quickly, here's an application process. So our application opens up in August. There's no preference between the common application or the coalition application. We have an early action decision this year coming up November 1st. And so, but after November 1st, our applications are rolling admissions. So we will not hold your application. We will get those completed within a 2 to 3 week time frame. And we're pretty transparent because we use a formula, which is through our state board of regents. And as you can see, there's the factors that consider our formula for admission. There's a 255 score, that is admission score, that is needed for the University of Iowa. And you have, you can actually go to our website and type in REI formula, and it will pretty much allow you to input your information. We are test optional for the 21 year. So just wanted to let you all know that as well. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact us. And like I said, I will go ahead and drop my email in the chat. Thank you all again for being here, and have a great night.
Marcus, thanks so much to you and the University of Iowa. Our final presentation tonight will be from the University of Mary Washington.
All right, all. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Adam Moore, Assistant Director of Admission at the University of Mary Washington in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Really excited to be with you all this evening. So UMW is a little bit different than a lot of the institutions you've heard from tonight. We are probably the smallest, about 4,400 undergraduate students at the University of Mary Washington. We are predominantly an undergraduate institution. We do have a handful of master's opportunities like our 4+1 MBA program, master's in geospatial analysis, as well as a fantastic master's in education program as well. But we are predominantly an undergraduate institution. At the university, we have 3 colleges: the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Education, and the College of Business. While we are one of the flagship public liberal arts institutions in the Commonwealth of Virginia, that doesn't mean we only have Virginia residents on campus. We do have 29 states other than Virginia represented, as well as 34 different foreign countries, which creates a really fantastic campus community. So Fredericksburg, if you don't know, it's about an hour or so south, about 50 miles south of DC and about 60 miles north of Richmond, in a really fantastic area. Campus is very residential. About 60% of our students live on campus for all 4 years during their time at Mary Washington. And our location is very, it's a fantastic opportunity for internships, research, and a number of opportunities. There's a train station right off campus that can get a lot of students to DC very quickly. If you're interested in working for the government, interning in the DC area, we have tons of students on a yearly basis do just that. So Fredericksburg is a fantastic, very residential area for our students, walking distance from downtown, an awesome college town. All right, so there we go. So in terms of the classroom, I mentioned our smaller undergraduate size. Average class size is about 19. So you really get to know your professors. They get to really know you, and you really can foster those awesome experiences in the classroom. If you want to do research, that's something you can do from day one at Mary Washington. We just revamped our Jepson Science Center, which went from 20,000 square feet to 70,000 square feet. So any interest in the sciences, whether that's going the pre-med route or going directly into the labs, that's something you want to do, we absolutely have those opportunities available to you. Tons of opportunities for research. As I mentioned, you can see some of the statistics down below, but not just in the sciences, right? We are a liberal arts institution and are proud of it. So we're nationally ranked at the top for our historic preservation program. If you love history, Fredericksburg is the place to be. We're named after the George Washington's mother. So Fredericksburg, a very historic area. Check out George Washington's home. Head down to Williamsburg, which isn't too far, to work on colonial Williamsburg opportunities. We have tons of students that do research and internships in the historic areas, classics as well. We have actually, in terms of our nursing program, we are ranked one of the best nursing programs and the most cost affordable nursing programs in the country as well. So whether you want to work in the sciences, work for the government, go into the classics or historic pres or a number of our other fantastic areas, we are a great fit, most likely for you. In terms of our extracurriculars, over 150 plus clubs on campus, everything from the traditional, we have a very large and robust student government, all the way to an Eagle bagpipe band on campus, a botany club, and even a Quidditch team on campus. So great opportunities to get involved extracurricularly, whether that's through our clubs or our Division III athletic program. We're the Eagles. We have 24 different athletic programs at the Division III level. Really proud to be a part of the Coast to Coast Conference. And not just at the D3 level, we do have a vibrant club and intramural sports as well. And I also always love to mention our national champion rugby team at the club level as well. So fantastic opportunities from an extracurricular side of things. And along those lines as well, study abroad. We have 157 programs in 54 different countries. So if you want to experience an international institution for maybe a semester, a full year, or one of our smaller trips led by professors, great opportunities to do just that because of the experiences and opportunities afforded to you at Mary Washington. You see that top right photo, that's our president, President Pano, having fun at one of our spring celebrations. So a really awesome community. You get to know your president. That says a lot about an institution. A lot of our students know him, our faculty, and it's a really great place to grow and thrive for 4 years. All right, let's see. There we go. So in terms of our application process, you can see kind of our profile for our general population student and then our honors student. We do have 3 different deadlines. We have an early decision, early action, and regular decision deadline. Feel free to connect with me to determine what is the best fit for you. We do get really strong scholarships for our out-of-state students and even have a number of full tuition scholarships for our out-of-state students. I'm actually on the committee that deals with that. So if you'd like more information about that, feel free to connect with me. Happy to talk about what that would look like for you and what the best way to apply would be as well. At Mary Washington, we've been test optional for just over 5 years now. So we didn't have to really shift gears once COVID hit from a test optional side of things. So we plan on continuing to be test optional going forward. So we'll happily review your scores if you'd like, but if not, that's okay too. But feel free to connect with me if you'd like more information on the app process. And lastly, connect with us. Happy to connect. Like everyone else said, I'm the New Jersey rep for the University of Mary Washington. So happy to connect with you after this, and make sure you follow us on social media. Have a lot of opportunities to connect and see what the campus vibe is all about when we have student takeovers. Thanks so much.
Thanks to you, Adam, and the University of Mary Washington. I would now like to ask all of the presenters to turn back on their cameras, and we'll go round robin in the order that you presented originally. So share with us, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? So we'll start with the University of Connecticut.
Yeah, great question. To me, one of my favorite traditions and events that happens on our campus is going to be Oostball. Oostball is our annual volleyball in the mud tournament. So it occurs every spring weekend. It's about 6 or 7 or so students participating in a round robin tournament as well. Just playing volleyball in the mud. It's a lot of fun. It really kicks off our spring weekend, gets students really energized for a variety of events that UConn's going to put on that weekend and that week or so. So I'd probably say Oostball. It's a lot of fun. And especially in the mud, makes it just much more, exciting environment for everything. So Oostball would probably be my answer for that.
And I'd like to say that sounds quite exciting. If they had that for staff, I'd probably do that as well. But anyway, University of Delaware, one of my favorite traditions is alumni and actually parent and family weekend. And really because when your parents are alum of the university as well, or just coming to support you, the football game, there's just so much excitement, so much pride, and then so much happening that weekend that is just really exciting. And it's great to kind of just hang out and even be at the football game and tailgate with your family and such, and just kind of take on the pride of University of Delaware.
Courtney, do I have time to give a separate one from Crystal? So my favorite tradition is actually Taste of Newark, which is the restaurant week for the small town that we're located in. So Newark is about 2 mile, the Main Street area of our campus, about a 2 mile long downtown strip, and there's like 40 different shops and restaurants. So a week close to the first week of June, when our first summer session starts, is restaurant week, when all of the restaurants open up outdoor seating and have plenty of deals for community members and students alike.
Awesome. I think for me, so in Boston, we have what's called Lawn on D. It's like this outdoor area space with like let up swings, and it's basically an outdoor venue for the warmer months. And what UMass Boston does, they replicate that and call it Lawn on B. So there's all these let up swings. They bring a DJ, food trucks, and it's open. It's the opening week, so it's a great way to kick off the academic year.
So many students may be familiar with our tradition of the arch, and I'm going to pivot and go with a different one. But on campus, we have a chapel bell that is used in ringing of celebrations, whether it is after like a victory game or you made a great grade on a test. So it's it's not uncommon to hear that ringing pretty often. So I think that's a pretty cool tradition on campus.
Well, I had to put this background up here because one of my favorite traditions is after the first quarter of every home game, there's a children's hospital that's located right behind our football facility. And so at the top floor, those pediatric oncology patients or little kiddos with cancer are watching the game. And so one of our fans thought it was a bright idea to just turn around and wave at those families and patients. And it just caught on like wildfire. And it was something that was organic, right? And that's the type of community that you will see at Iowa. So the Iowa Wave is a great tradition.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then at Mary Washington, a great tradition for us is you have to jump in our fountain at least once during your time at Mary Washington. Little known fun fact, our fountain is actually chlorinated because so many people jump in the fountain every year. It's a tradition for our first year and senior students. So that's a really fun one. You always see someone jumping in the fountain at UMW.
That's good, clean fun, right? Yep. Well, I hope that you guys take a look at these awesome professionals on your screen. They are all here to help you through this college search process. None of your questions are silly. They're all really important. And these people are the experts to get your questions answered. And there's someone like them at all the schools that you're most interested in. So with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us tonight. There'll be a quick 4-question survey as you close out, so please provide us with some feedback. The recording for this session, along with all the other sessions that happened tonight, will be available at strivescan.com/New Jersey. And don't forget to have some fun in this college search process. It really can be a great time. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.